letters to his twisted fans, he writes, and let me quote him: God has forgiven me. God has separated me from my sin as far as the east is from the west. The hard part, he says, was forgiving himself. But there's good news on that front too, because Watts writes, I am finally at peace. Good.
Hey guys, don't mind my hair, I'm still not ready yet. It's a little on the untamed side. Gonna have to fire in it a little bit here in a little bit. But I was sitting here getting ready, and I just kind of wanted to share some things with you guys, and kind of just touch base on some things that are going on with Lavelle and with me, and kind of see what you guys are, if you guys are interested, and I have an opportunity for you guys. And the thing is my whole thing this morning is, what if you tried Thrive and it made you feel amazing? What if you tried it and it changed your life? Everyone's skeptical, and I get it. I was skeptical for 14 months. I didn't believe in Thrive. I didn't believe in something that would literally make me feel amazing and happy. I didn't believe in feeling better. So that was all new to me. I was really a huge skeptic, actually. 14 months to be exact. And finally, I gave it a shot. I was trying to prove my friend wrong, Mandy, and I told her it wasn't going to work for me. I didn't need energy. I didn't need to feel better. That nothing that she had was going to do that for me, because I've never had anything that actually literally changed everything about the way I looked at things, how I felt. Getting up, I mean, it's 9:30 here in the morning, and I'm ready. I've been ready since 7:30. I never woke up early because I wanted to before. I never woke up an hour before the kids before because I wanted to. And I've been waking up early every day to kind of help people and get people started, and building a team. I love the fact that I have so many people underneath me, or with me, should I say, that want to better themselves and better their life and better their children's lives and their families' lives. And Lavelle has that opportunity. You can do that. I mean, I know that sounds absolutely absurd and crazy, and there's no company out there that can do that for you. But Thrive does. Like, Lavelle, the company itself, is a family. And I've been with so many different direct sales companies before, and none of them ever follow through in helping you. It's kind of like, hey, sign up, do this, and there you go, have fun. Here, we are a family. We literally work hand in hand every day with you. And, you know, it's not like that here. My leaders work with me on a daily basis, and they help me every day. Not only do they help me with my business, but they also help me grow as an individual. Like, I've really grown in the last, I would say, you know, I've been with Lavelle for 9 months, but I've grown in the last 6 tremendously with Lavelle. And as a person, like, I feel like I'm a better mom because of my leadership skills that I've learned, how to be more confident in myself, how to be empowering, like encouraging. Like, I've always been that person who's always wanted to help other people and to make people feel better, and to be that like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, to encourage people, like, you know, to make someone better. But I've actually made a difference in the last 6 months, or I feel like I've made a difference in a lot of people's lives. And people, like, even people that are on my team have made me a better person, have helped me grow as an individual, which is truly amazing. Hi guys. Thanks, Christine. Thrive is the mom. But I just wanted to share that with you guys because I love the fact that this company gives you the opportunity to be who you want to be and be who you are. and grow that person that's inside you. And all my leaders that are with me and who help me on a daily basis, it's funny because in most companies, the top leaders of the companies, you never hear of them. You hear of them, but you never talk to them. Mine talk to me on a daily basis. I can message them, I can call them, I can bug them, I can blow their phone up, and they respond every time. Every time, they're there to inspire me, encourage me when I'm having my bad day. They're there. And I've grown such strong relationships with not only them, but my people I've never known. I've encountered with people that I've never knew before Thrive, like people who have touched my life in a different way over the last 6 to 9 months. And people it's crazy because everyone says when they join any kind of business, well, I have no friends. I don't know anybody. I don't, but I've grown with people that, one, either I've never spoke to before Thrive, or two, that have been in my life in the past, but we've been, between, life and family and work and everything, you lose that connection. And in the last 10 years, I've lost a lot of connections with people because everyone goes their own way, everyone grows. And I reconnect with people I went to school with, people I worked with 10, 11 years ago, and we are like this. We are best friends right now. And, it's crazy. I've always thought it was amazing how you could become so close with someone you physically have never met.
The fact that they could be doing a lot better financially, and she, from the vibe that I got, had really bad spending habits.
So she was a spender. The car, hers or his?
I think it's hers.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that that's hers.
Do you know what other car they might have?
Well, I mean, his APC pickup truck.
And that's
it, I think.
That's owned by Anadarko, though, right?
Yeah. But so I don't think they own any other vehicles, as far as I know. I think it's just that thing.
And Anadarko doesn't allow him to drive that on his own personal time, right? No. So he's just got one vehicle.
Yep.
And it's a very expensive Lexus. And then they live in a pretty expensive house.
It's a huge house.
Yeah.
I was very taken back when I saw it. I was just like, whoa. How?
And then the
guys,
fixtures inside caused you to pause.
Everything was just like.
And then you mentioned today you read something about bankruptcy.
Yep.
What did you read?
That those guys filed bankruptcy for a lot of money.
Who are those guys?
To that couple.
Okay.
In 2015. Oh, Shanann and Chris.
Thanks.
Filed bankruptcy in 2015.
Okay. And you said for a lot of money. Do you recall the amount?
No, because it was different in each of the newspapers, and I don't know which one to believe. Okay. So, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, yeah, I didn't know that.
Let's go just back to him and the financial. He tells you he has a concern enough to at least express something to you that he's frustrated with the way she spends, or he's upset with working so hard and never having any money, and she's kind of the responsible party for spending most of the money.
I pretty much got that vibe. I mean, he just told me, he's like, we're house broke all the time. I was just like, that's unfortunate. And I asked him, I was like, do you have 401k? And he was like, yeah. And I mean, the reason I ask him this is because if I get into a relationship,
his version of events began changing dramatically. The carefully maintained narrative started cracking. And once cracks appear, investigators know exactly where to push. Still, even as admissions began emerging, there remained lingering questions. What evidence had been hidden? What details had not yet reached the public? And how much more existed inside the massive collection of investigative files? Years later, the release of documents, interviews, and recovered evidence would continue revealing information that many followers of the case had never seen before. Some details were deeply unsettling. Others fundamentally changed how people understood the timeline. And all of it demonstrated a powerful truth. The smallest overlooked piece of evidence can expose the biggest lie. If you're enjoying this deep dive, don't forget to subscribe to Crime After Dark and turn on notifications. And tell us in the comments which type of evidence you think is most powerful in modern investigations: surveillance footage, phone data, or witness statements. because in the next chapter, we'll examine the evidence that emerged after the initial investigation, evidence that many believe Chris hoped would remain buried forever. For many cases, the story ends after a conviction. But the Watts case was different, because even after Chris Watts pleaded guilty, investigators continued documenting evidence, interviews, and findings that would later become public. And some of those revelations shocked even seasoned true crime followers. As thousands of pages of records circulated, people began examining details line by line. Investigators had already established what happened, but understanding how events unfolded remained an ongoing process. One area of intense focus involved Chris's post-crime behavior. Observers analyzed interviews, television appearances, and public statements. They compared those statements against documented evidence. Again and again, contradictions appeared. What made these discoveries so compelling was not a single dramatic piece of evidence. It was the accumulation. One inconsistency alone might be meaningless. 10 inconsistencies become a pattern. 20 become impossible to dismiss. The case also highlighted the extraordinary role technology now plays in criminal investigations. Security cameras captured movements. GPS records established locations. Phone data documented communications. Digital evidence preserved moments that otherwise might have disappeared forever. For investigators, this created a detailed map. For Chris, it created a problem, because every new record uncovered another layer of truth. Years later, prison correspondence and interviews generated additional public interest. People wanted answers. Why did this happen? Could warning signs have been detected earlier? Were there clues hidden in plain sight? Those questions fueled endless discussion. Yet perhaps the most haunting aspect of the case wasn't the evidence itself. It was how ordinary everything appeared from the outside. Neighbors saw a seemingly normal family. Friends saw photographs filled with smiles. Social media presented a carefully curated image. But investigators would eventually uncover a reality that looked very different. That contrast continues to disturb people, because it reminds us how little we sometimes know about what happens behind closed doors. As more evidence entered public view, many followers of the case realized something chilling. The truth had never truly been hidden by one single secret. It had been concealed beneath layers of appearances, beneath assumptions, beneath carefully constructed narratives. And once those layers were removed, the evidence spoke for itself. Every recovered message, every timeline entry, every surveillance frame, every investigative note. Together, they formed a story far different from the one Chris initially wanted the world to believe. And yet one final question remained, a question that continues haunting discussions of the case today. What can we learn from evidence that only became fully appreciated after the investigation was already underway? Because the answer reveals something profoundly important about how modern criminal cases are solved. Before we reach the conclusion, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Crime After Dark. And tell us below, do you think technology has made it nearly impossible for major crimes to remain hidden? Because the final chapter reveals why this case remains one of the most studied true crime investigations in modern history. The Watts case continues to resonate for a reason that extends far beyond headlines. It serves as a powerful example of how evidence can dismantle deception. Step by step, layer by layer, fact by fact. When investigators first arrived at the Watts home, they faced uncertainty. There was no immediate confession, no complete explanation, no roadmap pointing directly toward the truth. What they had were fragments, a missing family, unusual behavior, digital records, witness observations, surveillance footage. Individually, each piece offered only part of the story. Together, they became overwhelming. One of the most important lessons from the investigation is that major cases are rarely solved through a single breakthrough. Instead, they are solved through persistence. Detectives compare statements, review records, verify timelines, challenge assumptions, and slowly a clearer picture emerges. The evidence later released to the public reinforced that principle. People who reviewed investigative files saw just how methodical the process had been, how many details were examined, how many leads were followed, how many facts were verified. The result was a reconstruction of events supported by documented evidence rather than speculation. And that's precisely why the case continues to be studied. Not because of mystery, but because of what the evidence ultimately revealed. The documents, recordings, and investigative findings exposed realities that had once remained hidden from public view. Not hidden forever, just hidden long enough for investigators to uncover them. That's what makes this story so compelling. The truth didn't appear all at once. It emerged gradually. A surveillance video here, a phone record there, a recovered message, a contradiction, a timeline discrepancy. Each discovery added another piece, until eventually the larger picture became impossible to ignore. For many viewers, the most chilling realization is how ordinary the beginning seemed. An ordinary neighborhood, an ordinary family, an ordinary Monday morning. Yet beneath that ordinary surface existed a tragedy that would capture international attention and leave lasting scars on everyone connected to it. Today, years later, people still examine the case because it demonstrates the extraordinary power of evidence. Evidence doesn't get tired. It doesn't forget. It doesn't change its story. And when enough of it accumulates, the truth becomes increasingly difficult to escape. The evidence that emerged over time allowed investigators, and eventually the public, to see beyond appearances, to see beyond claims, to see beyond carefully crafted narratives. And once those facts came into focus, the story changed forever. Thank you for watching Crime After Dark. If you found this documentary compelling, make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video with fellow true crime enthusiasts. And let us know in the comments which case you'd like us to cover next. Because sometimes the most shocking evidence is what investigators find on day one. It's what they uncover after someone believes they've hidden it forever. And in this case, once the evidence came to light, everyone could finally see the truth.